Hello, beautiful souls. So as you can see, different wall, different place. I'm over here at my parents' place, and this has been already an amazing week, filled with seeing so many different clients and sharing in all these different miraculous experiences and having some really good times with my mama. And tomorrow actually is going to be very exciting because me and Mom and Chelsea are going to hot yoga, and so it's going to be great. But we are also on our theme here of this new chapter, which is under What is the Last Judgment. So today's lesson is a goodie because we really do get to become vigilant in our minds for God so that we no longer judge ourselves, judge others, no longer judge bodies or fear the judgment of God. Because now that we have been clear on what the last judgment means, and that God knows us only as innocent and sees us as the love that He created us to be, we can welcome this and allow judgment to be released from our mind so we finally awaken out of the dream of judgment. So today's lesson 311, 311s, is I judge all things as I would have them be. I judge all things as I would have them be. Very much. Very much. We are the ones who judge all things as we would have them be. So let's see what Jesus means in a deeper understanding with this thought for today. Judgment was made to be a weapon and used against truth. It separates what it is being used against and sets it off as if it were a thing apart. And then it makes of it what you would have it be. It judges what it cannot understand because it cannot see totality and therefore judges falsely. Let us not use it today, but make a gift of it to Him who has a different use for it. He will relieve you of the agony of all the judgments you have made against yourself and reestablish peace of mind by giving you God's judgment of His Son. Beautiful. I almost feel, too, that this lesson is allowing us to recognize and almost ask, well, what do we value? Do we value the judgments that we make upon this world, or do we value the correction of the judgments that we make upon this world? And we are realizing in this section that when we release ourselves from the need to judge, then it allows the judgment of God to be rested upon us instead. And that is the true correction to bring us from agony into peace. And so we are being shown here that judgment was made to be a weapon used against truth. Judgment is a weapon to use against truth. It literally is what creates the barriers, the seeming barriers, between us and others in this world. This was actually even a big topic of discussion today with my clients. They were talking about the idea of looking at someone who comes into work and, they don't have their hair done as they normally do and they don't look that good and they're judging their body like crazy. And this is typical for the ego. This is exactly what the ego does. It's the only thing the ego knows. And so the ego is going to judge the body. But what we're learning is that when we receive the reinterpretation of this judgment and receive the judgment of God and not the judgment of the ego, then we can look upon that person, see beyond their body, and bear witness to the light of Christ. We get to see the light in them. And once we give that gift of seeing the light will be reflected in them, and we will know that the light is in us. So we must no longer judge in order to see what is truly there, and we must release judgment in order to recognize the truth. This judgment separates what it is being used against and sets it off as if it were a thing apart. Exactly. So it separates us. It makes us see that you're a body, I'm over here, you're over there. This is separate. We're different by wealth class, we're different by religion, we're different by country, we're different by all these things. All of this is judgment. This is all judgment that makes us seem that we're apart and different. But this could never be. This is not the truth. So it judges what it cannot understand because it cannot see totality and therefore judges falsely. Judgment is a lack of understanding. And that's why Jesus was sharing, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." We judge others because of this lack of understanding. We judge others because we judge ourselves. And we don't know ourselves because we have yet to see the totality of what life is and of what God is and of what we are. So since we have yet to see the totality of life itself, we see it in fragments. We see it in small little boxes. And we only see little snippets of it. You know, Jesus referenced it as seeing only the frame and not seeing the picture. And so we are referencing, or recognizing rather, that to judge at all is to judge falsely because we are not yet witness to the totality of life. Therefore, we only see a limited idea of it. So Jesus is reminding us to let us not use it today. Let us not use judgment today. But make a gift of it to him who has a different use for it. So instead of judging your outer world, judging your life, judging your body or another's attitude or behavior, instead, take it in and give it to God as a gift. God, I give you my judgment. God, I give you everything that I think is wrong and needs to change and needs to be different and needs to be better and needs to be more. All of that is judgment. I give it all to you, Father, as the gift that I give to you, that I may see this differently. Because God will have a different use for it and show us a different meaning on it, and therefore change our mind completely of what this judgment is. He will relieve you of the agony of all the judgments you have made against yourself and reestablish peace of mind by giving you God's judgment of his Son. So when we say, I'm responsible for this judging, I realize that I've judged, I give this judgment to you, God, God gives us his blessing. Instead, he gives us his peace that passes human understanding, and it allows us to receive God's judgment of his Son instead of us judging what we think is there or here or what we are. So God gives us the true answer when we give him our judgments. So instead of trying to hide our judgments from God and be like, oh, God's going to judge me for my judgments, we say, oh yeah, God only has one judgment of his Son. There's nothing to fear here. Vroom, give it to you, God. This is it. This is the simplicity of salvation. Yay. So let's conclude here with our prayer as we allow ourselves to move past the thoughts and judgmental mind and move into the space and the now where God is, to give us his judgment of what we are instead of our judgment of what we think we are. Father, we wait with open mind today to hear your judgment of the Son you love. We do not know him, and we cannot judge. And so we let your love decide what he whom you created as your Son must be. And so I feel that I'm going to take this prayer into my heart and mind as I go to bed this evening, even though I know this is for tomorrow's morning, so that I truly can be still with an open mind today to hear the judgment from God of the Son, which whom he loves. I want to hear God's judgment upon me and not my judgment of myself. And I trust that this is what we all want together, for our needs are one, and therefore all of us can join in this prayer together and join in this experience together, that we may receive the truth about ourselves from God directly, that it may release all of the judgments that we have in our mind about whom God's Son is and what that even means. We can stop trying to figure it out and go straight to God. He is ready to answer our every question. So I love you, beautiful souls. I judge all things as I would have them be. This is our lesson for today. I love you, beautiful souls. Enjoy your day. Mwah.